I'm live. Yay! I'm live. You'll see the sun in my face a little bit, but I don't mind really. It makes me happy when the sun is shining, especially with what's everything that goes on every day in this crazy world. So I have gotten a lot of like and subscribes on my YouTube channel, which I continue to ask you to do. And my website is robindavinci.com because I have passion about educating people about the simple things that drive them crazy and the simple things they can do to make their life easier and that their children need to learn now. And I'm so tired of children not learning things in school that they should be learning for adulthood. And so I'm kind of a fanatic about that. So this particular subject I've been asked about on my YouTube channel several times. And I'm going to speak to it. It's called estimated payments, estimates. People say it all the time. And I want to explain what they are. Normally, the people that pay estimates are those who own businesses and are independent contractors. It was set up for independent contractors because an independent contractor is someone who does not get tax taken out of the money they receive. They just receive a gross check. So let's say you're a graphic design person and you go to a company and they say, we're hiring you for $10,000 and we will pay you 333 and 1 so that it's going to be a progress payment based on your uh, uh, ability to get the project done. So they give you the $10,000, then you have another one on the side that's 6,000, you have another one on the side that's 5,000. And by the time the year is over, as this gig that is called contracting, you made $50,000, $60,000, but no tax was taken out. So what the government says to you is if no tax is being taken out of your checks, then you need to forward us money based on each quarter of earnings. So at the end of March 31st, if you've earned $20,000, you probably need to send us at least 10% of that or 15% of that. And then if you live in a state that has taxes, you probably need to send at least 5%. Now, as the quarters go on, you can increase your estimates based on what you find out you're earning. Now, when I talk about contractors, I'm talking about an individual or a single member LLC who goes into a company, they pay them straight money without taking tax out, and you're responsible for it. And people say, well, how would I know what to pay if I've never done it before? Well, we call it sort of a estimate guesstimate, right? You look back at your last time you paid tax through your paycheck, a W-2 employee, and you see, well, last year I paid in $8,000 in taxes, but I was a W-2 employee. And you look at the amount of gross wages you made, and you say, am I going to make that gross this time? And if you are, you take the amount you paid in tax times 110%, divide it by 4, and at least pay that in. So everybody, let's do that calculation. All of a sudden, you're a contractor because you've decided to go out on your own. Last year, you made $75,000 and paid $10,000 in tax. So this year you're saying, I think I'm going to make $75,000 again. So you take the 10,000 from last year, you multiply it by another 10%. So you would add onto the 10,000, you'd add on another 1,000. So you'd say, I'm going to pay in $11,000. You divide that by 4 and you pay them on 4/15, 6/15, 9/15, and the next year, January 15th. Now, the reason you multiply it by 10% is because that you're basically penalty proofing yourself. The government says we can't expect you to know exactly what you're going to make next year if you're a contractor. You could go up, it could go down. And so they allow you to make adjustments 4 times a year. And they say if you add 10%, and you make more than that and you owe more, we will not penalize you because you added an additional 10% because you didn't know. So People who are in the W-9 field. So you went into a company, you filled out a W-9. They don't withhold tax. You're considered an independent contractor and in business for yourself. The government expects you to make estimates. The estimates are paid on 4/15, 6/15, 9/15, and 1/15 of the next year. You go on to the irs.gov website and you can print out estimated coupons. You fill them out. They'll want to see your real name and your doing business as name and your tax ID number and address. And you take that number and divide by 4. And you put that in the coupon and you write out a check. And I think it's form 3522. You say 3522 estimated tax 2022, and you take a copy of the check and the coupon, even on your camera, on your cell phone, and make sure you keep track of this. And then at the end of the year, you can say, oh my goodness, I made 20,000 less than I thought. And so you won't make maybe your January 15th payment of next year for this year. You won't make it because you made less. But what you want to do is you want to keep up with the tax. Do not let it fall behind because there's a penalty and interest when you underpay tax. So if you take the tax you paid last year, you can go straight to your tax return and see, and you multiply that by 110% and then divide that by 4, you're at least close to what you should owe. You should do that for the state you live in too if they require taxes. The second way people pay estimated taxes, and again, the word is estimate and often guesstimate. The second way is if you feel you're not withholding enough from your paycheck. And so you can go into your HR person and say, please do my withholding plus 200 per paycheck. That's sort of like an estimated tax payment. You could also each quarter say, I think I'm being under withheld, and send in with a coupon a check for $1,000, whatever you think you're withheld. Sometimes people don't want it taken out of their paycheck because they're not sure. But after they analyze each quarter, they say, I really need to send this in. That's more uncommon, but you can do it. Another way people pay estimates, some people wait until their tax return is filed. But when you make a gain on your house or a sale of something and you know you're going to have to pay tax on it, some people will sit down, pull a coupon, fill it out, or go online and pay an estimated bill, an estimated tax payment toward that year's tax. Now, I want to tell you that penalties and interest are big now with the IRS. It used to be that people fudged it or waited because the interest payment was so low. But now the penalties are quite steep. So I really encourage you not to wait till the last minute. I know this is a subject people hate, paying taxes. They're afraid of the IRS. They're afraid of the franchise tax board, whatever state you live in. But you shouldn't be. You own this money. You earned this money. You just have to plan more. And I could probably yell out loud and say, why the hell don't you plan better? But I'm not going to change you if you don't. But I can guide you and at least make you understand that when you got dinged for those penalties and interest and underpayment penalty, I can tell you why. The government does not want you to owe money at the end of the year, nor do they want to owe you money. They want you to plan. Hear me well. They want you to take responsibility for your taxes and plan so that they don't owe you and you don't owe them. Now, in my experience, and I've been in the business 40 years, well, not in business 40 years, but I've been doing bookkeeping since I was 17. I have found that if you come in being owed 1,000 less, or 1,000 more, I think that's breaking even. So if you owe the government 1,000 or less, you've done good tax planning. If they owe you 1,000 or less, that's good tax planning. Anything more than that, and you're not really planning very well. And It is not up to your employer to do this, and it's not up to the government to do this. It's up to you to look at the money you earn and make it work. So again, estimated taxes are due 4/15, 6/15, 9/15, and 1/15. And what the government's looking for you to do is they're looking for you to keep up with your taxes as you earn that untaxed income throughout the year. So please remember that. If you do, in fact, make some money this year on the sale of a house or the sale of a car or something like that, please contact your tax person to see if you should send it in. Now, some people file their taxes by 4/15, so the penalty wouldn't be so big. But if you're somebody who files an extension and you wait till 10/15, you have that underpayment penalty and interest for all of that time. So I encourage you to talk to a tax expert when you make money in a year that is untaxed. It's really important to do that. Now, you can go around having that attitude. I'm not paying the government anything. I don't care what they say. I don't know any tax. I'm not paying tax. It's my money. That's really bullshit because really the whole world runs on people paying tax on their money. Now, I could debate it forever and say this tax is unfair, or that one is fair, or whatever. But the key to this is that you will owe something, and why would you want to pay penalty and interest on it in addition to the principal you would owe? I wouldn't suggest doing it. I would suggest stay in line. So on March 31st, analyze your withholding. Even if you're a W-2, analyze withholding and make sure you're on target. If you are underpaying and you've gone to Paychecks calculator and you've looked at last year and you feel like you're under withheld, make a decision to either add more money to your withholding, go in, determine a flat rate for your withholding, add more money, or make an estimated tax payment. I really encourage you not to get in to a situation where you are under withheld. So that is a boring topic. Sorry, but everybody needs to know it. So I'm just the one sticking out my neck and telling you the truth. So estimated tax payments, very important. You can go to my channel and write questions to me, robindavinci.com. My website is robindavinci.com. I have lots of information there. I will do a video on Schedule C in the next 10 days. If you are an independent contractor, I'm going to help you figure out your Schedule C. So, you guys are terrific. Like and subscribe. If I can get to 1,000 subscribers, I've almost got 500, then I can start to do more things for you. So let me know what you think, and I hope this helped. Bye.